All right, so thanks for joining us today. You are listening to the Astrology of Things, where I analyze the things going on in our human experience through astrology. I call this my Astro-analysis. In today's episode, I'll be talking about cuffing season and how this can be explained through the sun's movement into the sign of Libra each fall. All right, so let's astro analyze this. So, you may have or may not have heard about cuffing season. And if you haven't heard about it, I'll quickly get you up to speed. So, cuffing season in general is a phrase that's been used to describe the change in relationship dynamics that happen every time fall comes around each year. This is a time when people get the itch to be in a relationship. People want to upgrade their relationships to be official. They want to turn their situationships into relationships. They want to turn their cuddy buddies into lovey buddies. You get the gist. And the word cuffing comes from the idea of handcuffing yourself to another person. And this phrase, cuffing season, is being increasingly used today in popular culture and is gaining a lot of popularity. It's been referenced in songs, in entertainment. You can find it on social media, written about in magazines and newspapers. And of course, there are several entries posted in the Urban Dictionary, the best place to find what slang words and terms mean. So, in songs, there's a particular song that I actually like called "Flower Child" by Cassius Tay, and he mentions cuffing season in his song. And I'm going to read a few of the lyrics from this song just to give you some context to how it's being used. All right. You put my number in your phone. You hit me on your way home. You said, hey, put my number in your phone. It's October and the leaves change. You know, cuffing season coming up. Would and nobody with us. I don't even see run-ups. Just was me touching up and nobody know. That's just an excerpt from his song. Sorry I didn't sing it, but I hope you get the gist. And aside from this song, cuffing season is mentioned in On Chill by Jeremiah featuring Wale. And he doesn't actually say cuffing season, he just mentions cuffing, but we all know what he's talking about there. A music artist by the name of Eric Bellinger has an entire album called Cuffing Season, and one of the songs on the album is called Cuffing Season. And of course, you'll see and find cuffing season playlists on music streaming platforms. So, in general, most people are aware of cuffing season, especially the Gen X generations and millennials are all aware of this term or have an idea of what it means. And also, people are aware of the relationship pattern that seems to happen when fall comes around. So, before I get into how cuffing season relates to astrology, I want to list a few of the reasons as to why it's said that cuffing season occurs. First, it's said that cuffing season occurs because the weather starts getting colder during the fall time, and this makes people more likely to be inside. In an article written in the Oprah magazine titled, Yes, Cuffing Season is a Real Thing, they state, quote, the cold weather creates a desire for someone to hold you and keep you warm, end quote. And Quote, that knowing you can get the winter blues triggers the idea that being in a relationship will bring you more joy, end quote. When people state this as a reason, my first thoughts are, well, what about the parts of the world where it doesn't get cold? Do they not have cuffing season? Does cuffing season only happen in North America because we have a range in temperature that happens throughout the year? And what about the parts of the world that are always cold? Are they always in cuffing season? And the second reason to why cuffing season apparently occurs is because it lasts through the holiday season all the way up until the end of March. And they say that people have a fear of being lonely during the holidays. So they're preparing what significant other they want to spend their holidays with. And I don't think this reason is valid either, because not everyone celebrates these seemingly traditional holidays. We all come from different cultures and backgrounds. So, all that being said, I want to introduce a fresh perspective to cuffing season by taking a look at it through the eyes of astrology, hence what I call my astro-analysis. I think it's great people have identified these human behaviors and relationship patterns that occur each fall. And I think it'll be fun just to take a deeper dive and move away from some of the superficial reasonings behind this. My main observation is that cuffing season can be explained through the sun's movement into the sign of Libra each fall. The sun in astrology has a specific role, meaning an energetic influence on the life on Earth once it enters Libra each fall. So in this astro analysis, I'll talk a little bit about the sun, the zodiac sign of Libra, how the sun and Libra work together, and how this energetic chemistry influences and contributes to what popular culture refers to today as cuffing season. In astrology, there are several moving parts to the entire system, and the sun is just one component. The sun refers to our willpower, our soul desire, our life force, and our vitality. This is what people refer to when they state that they are a certain zodiac sign. So, for example, if someone asks you what sign you are, people usually respond by saying, oh, I'm a Leo, or oh, I'm a Sagittarius. But people, but what people are really identifying is where the sun was located in the tropical zodiac on the day that they were born. So the sun is directly connected to our solar-based calendar system, and it also marks the seasons and changes of signs throughout the year. So when the sun enters Libra on September 3rd each year, this marks the first day of autumn or fall. And when the sun enters Aries on March 21st each year, this marks the first day of spring. And this happens in the same way with Cancer marking summer and Capricorn marking winter. We can see the sun's energetic influence as the seasons change. And we can see how the sun has a biological and psychological effect on the life here on Earth, whether that be human life, animal life, or plant life. The sun is electric, and in a sense, it charges us up like a battery because we are two, in fact, electrical beings. Without the sun, there would be no life on Earth. So as the sun travels throughout the zodiac, and as the year progresses, the sun gains and loses its strength and power based on what zodiac sign it's in. And in astrology, this is known as the dignity of a planet or luminary. And the sun is a luminary. So When the sun enters Libra each fall, the sun loses dignity here. Now, every year the sun travels around the zodiac and it enters the seventh zodiac sign, which is Libra, on September 23rd. This is when fall or autumn starts. And during this exact time is when cuffing season has been claimed to begin. And referring back to what I mentioned earlier, the colder weather and the upcoming holiday season during this time gives people the itch and desire to couple up. But understanding the significators and the meaning of Libra, we can begin to better understand why people are getting this itch, because it's not just due to the cold weather and the holiday season. So, what is Libra all about? Well, Libra is a yang or masculine cardinal air sign that's ruled by Venus. And masculine signs are more extroverted and they take initiative, right? While cardinal signs, they're associated with the start and the beginning, sparking the beginning to something. If you've ever noticed, the 4 primary seasons begin with cardinal signs. So Libra kicks off the fall and autumn season, as I mentioned before. And we have Capricorn, which is cardinal earth, that kicks off winter. We have Aries, cardinal fire, that kicks off spring. And then we have Cancer, which is cardinal water, that kicks off the summertime. And Libra is an air sign. And air signs are all about communication, mental activity, and relations. And since Libra is ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and attraction, Libra also has these Venusian qualities, including harmony, balance, integration, and social interaction. So Libra also kicks off the second half of the zodiac, where the individual that has been developing themselves through Aries up until Virgo now comes into contact with one-to-one personal relationships with others. And here, an individual learns and yearns to essentially integrate and develop their individuality through a partnership. And these partnerships can involve friendships or business partnerships, but mostly these partnerships represent romantic relationships. So when the sun enters Libra every fall or autumn, the Libra energy is emphasized on a collective level. No matter what personal placements a person has in their birth charts. In this sign of Libra, the sun loses its strength and vitality and is in its, quote, fall, unquote. This is also known as the sun losing its dignity. So on a side note, I find it really interesting that in astrology, we say the sun is in its fall when it comes into Libra. So I wonder, is that why we also call the season of autumn fall? I don't know, but that's just something to think about. And I love thinking about little coincidental things like that. But anyways, when the fall or autumn arrives, we're able to feel and see the sun's weakened power through the changes in temperature and even through observing plant life. Temperatures start to drop during this time and plants begin to die. and the leaves on the trees start changing colors and falling off the trees. We can also see the physical effects on the human body as well, because during this time of year, we get less vitamin D from the sun. So, due to its loss of strength and the sun not being out as often, causes people to catch colds and sickness more easily. But in terms of relationship dynamics associated with cuffing season, since the sun essentially loses its power, so does the ego and more selfish tendencies. Our will and desire is now weakened now that the sun is weakened, giving people the desire to open themselves up to a relationship or partnership with another individual. So people are more now willing to compromise and forego their own desire for the greater good of a relationship. People desire to want to establish the Venusian qualities that I mentioned a little earlier that are involved with Libra, that it inherits from Venus, right? So these qualities include harmony, balance, and integration. So, in all, individuals during this time are more inclined to focus on establishing relationships, healing any disagreements or quarrels they may have had in the previous months, and joining together and working together toward a goal, project, or developing a relationship. All right, so that summarizes my astro-analysis on cuffing season. I do want to mention that I could also talk about the dignities of the sun in Aries, the dignity of Venus in Libra and in Aries, but I wanted to keep this video short. I may do a part 2 to this video in the future, but for now, I hope the sun in Libra has shed some light onto why cuffing season occurs. And I hope it's given you a new, fresh perspective on cuffing season. In the meantime, I want you guys to reflect and think back on some of your own relationships to see if this pattern has occurred in your own lives. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section below. If you want to get more astro analysis on things, subscribe to this channel. If you liked this video, be sure to click the thumbs up. And if you have any comments, share them below, and I'd like to hear your perspective on cuffing season. And lastly, share this video with your family, friends, and acquaintances to let them know about cuffing season. Until next time.